I've been animating for around a couple years now, and over the years I've learned that there are a lot of simple mistakes you can make that can completely ruin your animation. While I'm no James Baxter, I still know a couple things that can help improve your animation. So here are 5 of the biggest mistakes most animators make. Number 1. More frames make it better. This is a very common misconception. More frames does not make your animation more fluid. Fluidity mostly depends on the physics and timing of the character or object you're animating. For example, this ball uses 30 unique frames, and this ball only uses 5. The first one looks very unnatural, while the second one looks more realistic. You do not have to have a high frame rate to have a good animation. So if you want your animation to be more fluid, take into account the weight and physics of the object rather than trying to utilize a frame rate to make it more smooth. If you're a beginner animator, I recommend that you use 12 frames per second to animate on. This will help you save time without sacrificing quality. If you want to move up to 24, just keep in mind that timing becomes harder. Having a good frame rate is good, but having realistic animations that apply physics are better. There is a good balance between the two, but if you're a beginner looking to get better, I recommend just focusing on how good the flow is between movements. As for myself, I've made this mistake many times. It's very common, but to break this habit, just remember that more frames does not make your animation more realistic. Number 2. Keeping the speed of an action constant. By using the same examples we used in the last one, we can see that this ball moves at a constant rate, while the other ball has varied speed. You can achieve this by using ease in and ease outs, which just means that the ball is speeding up and slowing down. This gets complicated when you're animating characters, but just remember not to space out your frames evenly. When something's going fast, the frames should be spaced out more, but when it's gaining speed or losing speed, the frames are going to be closer together. If you want to get a better idea on how to apply physics, then I'd recommend looking at the 12 principles of animation. Spacing out your frames differently can make a huge difference, making actions more natural and weighted. Number 3. Cutting corners where they shouldn't be cut. Animation is full of cutting corners, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You just need to know which corners you can cut and which corners you can't. When animating a character, almost all parts of the character are moving. For example, when you animate a character's arm, not just the arm is moving, but also the shoulder. If you fail to animate all the corresponding parts of the body, then the animation usually looks stiff or unfinished, which can be pretty annoying, but is usually fixable with just the transform tool. A good way to save time is during in-betweening. Not all frames have to be perfect when in-betweening. In fact, a lot of my videos, there's some pretty awkward frames, but usually small inconsistencies can't even be noticed, and a lot of the time a simple smear frame will do. Just don't go overboard on inconsistencies and smear frames, and definitely don't be afraid to reuse old animations. I definitely do in a lot of my videos, and it saves me a ton of time. One walk cycle, or any movement of that matter, can be reused. Number 4. Paying for Adobe. Oh, how did that get in there? Number 5. Not using any references. It is super important to use references. I mean, if you want to improve, you gotta use references. I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly how to draw a horse right now without a picture. This is really important when animating living things because the movements can be so complex that it's really hard to imagine them without a reference. So make sure to use references when you need them because otherwise your whole animation will pretty much fall apart. References also apply to keyframes. You know, this did not click with me for a while, and it's a little embarrassing. I didn't really use keyframes that much, and often my movements would just look kind of weird. And that's because I didn't really plan them out with keyframes. If the plan with keyframes doesn't look very good, then the end animation won't really look that good either. So make sure you have a good plan beforehand because if not, it probably won't look that good. Number 6. Not practicing. Okay? You need to practice. That's the only way you get better at anything. You fail, you do it again, and it is a little better. And sometimes the second time, it's not really much better. And that's okay. You just gotta keep trying. I would go on breaks from animation for months, and I wouldn't improve very much. So just make sure you're practicing and try to learn from other animators. I mean, I'm making a tutorial video I never thought I would make. And again, I'm not a professional, This is all just advice. You don't have to follow any of this if you don't want to. And I'm just recommending stuff that I found useful when I began animating, and I'm still learning. So hope you guys have a good day and stay animating. Wow, that was corny. This isn't my usual type of content. Check out the channel for more. I have animations and stuff. Not really a tutorial channel, by the way. But hope you guys have a good one, and bye-bye.